Hi everybody and welcome back to the Lapbook project. So this is going to be stage 4 and we're going to start on the internal sections. So if I open this up, we've got some of the green card already in place. We've got our notebook and we've got our envelopes, and that's section 2, and we're actually going to be working on this section here, which is section 1. Now I have already started so I've got an idea of where I'm heading to, because that's one of the hardest things. So all I've gone and done is I've used a piece of the spine that I had left over, and I've just cut that down so it becomes a pocket as such, like that. So I've just glued it down along the sides and along the bottom, and then here all I've gone and done is put a piece of black card, folded, and then just an image. Now the images, some of the images, or quite a few of the images I'm going to be using is from Lady Blackblood. I will leave the link underneath for her digicals that you can get from Etsy. So that's as far as I've got. So this lifts up, as we can see there, and that is going to be the pocket, and that pocket is going to be there, so you can't lift this up. You'll be able to see it, but you won't be able to lift it up until you've removed whatever tag or photo or journaling card you've got, and that's going to lift up. So that's where I've got so far with it. Next, because we're going to lift this up, I wanted to have a journaling area. So this is just a piece of index card, and I just want to make sure that when that flips down you're not going to see it. But at the same time, I have got a little tiny black card that I want to put there. Now, looking at it, it looks a bit empty there, black on black. So what I want to do is put that onto a different background. And the background I'm thinking of is another piece of the card. And this time I thought I would have the lines going in the opposite direction. So that's my next thing I'm going to do. So I'm just going to get my scissors and hopefully cut a reasonably straight line, like so. And then I've got one of these little corner punches, which just takes off the corners, just a little tiny bit, which I quite like. So it just rounds it up without being too big. So we're just going to trim that off, and that's going to slot into there, and then that can go on there and you can then see it much more clearly. And again, I'm going to have a go at just trimming off that edge there, like so. There we go. Brilliant. And the same with this one. I'm going to just trim off the edges, like so. And then we're going to glue those down. I might use the glue stick again. Okay. There we go. I've just brought that a bit nearer to me so I can actually see where I'm heading. There we go. There's just a little bit of white card showing through, so just run that down there like that. Go. And then I'm going to want to put the card on underneath. So the hardest part, I think, is trying to work out where you want to have the flips and the closures and the openings, etc, etc. So hopefully that Yeah, it's well hidden. So we're just going to pop that down like so. And then that will flop down, and as I say, we can put something in there that will then keep that closed. Now the next section, I've just cut out some papers that fit into each of the areas. Now I will be building those up with different backgrounds because they're a bit plain, but that's because I'm trying to utilise papers that I've already printed. I'm trying to save, well, paper and ink really, and time. So I found these and I quite liked them. I've got no idea where I got them from. It may have been when some friends and I went on a retreat that we organised. So I'm now looking at how am I going to stop this from flipping open, because once it's in the book it'll keep opening itself, it'll keep flipping open and closed because of the weight of all the other things that's on it. So my idea was to cut a piece of card and just trim around the edges with one of the corner pieces, and then I was going to have it coming across and hold in there, so when the book is closed, it's not only is it keeping this also closed, but also it's keeping this part closed, and I wanted it sort of like not quite centre, just slightly above centre. So that's my idea of what I'm sort of after. And I was thinking of doing it with a couple of magnets. Now, the magnets have now stuck to my ruler. Oh gosh. So I've bought a couple of magnets from the internet, and one of the sites I use is AliExpress. Now the problem with AliExpress is they don't always tell you the correct size. So I ordered, or what I thought I ordered, was 1 centimetre, and they came and they were exactly 1 centimetre I was made up, or half an inch I was made up. So I then reordered again, and again I thought it was going to be 1 centimetre, but they came out as, I don't know whether you can see that there, they came out as little teeny weeny ones. So just be careful when you're ordering them. If you are ordering those teeny tiny ones, please be extra careful that no animal or child swallows them, because they can be quite dangerous. So they're going to be the magnets of my choice for today, and I'm going to use these two together because they're just that little bit stronger. And the way I was going to use them is to put this magnet on the top, and then I've made just 2 circles, just 2 cutouts, well 3 cutouts really, 2 in craft paper and 1 in a piece of the excess paper that's there. And I'm going to glue that with the magnet onto there like that. So it's semi-raised and it'll hold the magnet in its place. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to move those to one side. And I'm going to use, for this, I'm going to use some of the heavy bodied gel that I like using. So we're just going to scoop a little tiny bit out. We're going to put a little tiny bit on the card, there where I want my magnet to go on, like so. Ooh. Like so. And I'm going to try and have that somewhere centre. Yeah, it's about right, the right place. Yeah. And then I'm also going to put some on the card here, like that. And that is going to go on there like so. Okay. And I'm quite happy with that. And then what I want to do is I'm going to glue this to where I want it on the book. So as I said, I want it slightly off centre. So again, I'm going to run some wet glue this time, because I want it to be quite strong, and I'm just going to run that along there like that. And we're going to pop that. Now this is going to be the back of the book. So what I'll do is I'll just squiggle it like that, and that's the right way up, and I'm going to do a big arrow like that to remind me that's the way it is up. So that's just for my benefit, because I have in the past worked on it and then realised it's totally upside down. So that's going to be roughly about there. Okay, and I can, for the time being, I'll put a couple of paper clips on. That should hold it tight while that glue sorts itself out. So the next thing is, how do I fix these to the underneath of there? So there's a couple of ways of doing it. You can actually mark it with a pencil where you want it. Now, I want these to be, these little magnets, I want these to be underneath this piece of card there, like so. So I don't mind if I do mark the paper, because it's going to be hidden anyway. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just trying to see if I've got any of the red tape, which I haven't. So I'm just going to pop out and get some red tape, because I think I must have used it all. I've not realised. Let me just double check. No, I'm going to have to go and get it. So just bear with me for 1 sec. Okay, I'm back with the red tape. So the way I put my magnets on is I'm going to cut a little tiny piece of the red double-sided sticky tape. Now you don't have to use the red double-sided, any sticky tape double-sided would do. And what I'm going to do is just open this up, and I want the magnets to attach itself. So as you can see there, it'll attach itself to the right side, and it'll attach itself, let me just come in a bit closer. It'll attach itself to the right side, and it'll attach itself to where it needs to be, with the magnet being on the other side. So what I'm going to do is have the non-sticky side down to the card, like so, and then I'm just going to drop the magnet on. And you can see there where it's attached itself, where it's quite happy, and just leave it there if I can, if it's going to let me. Stay there. Oh, that's it. Right, okay. And I want the card to be lengthways, because I'm going to attach this to it afterwards. So I'm going to raise this up, and then I'm going to flip this across, and I'm going to want the red sticky tape to adhere to underneath, if that makes sense. There you go. So you've got, the magnet is now the right way up to clip to that magnet that's on that side, and we've put the red tape there to hold it in place. And then what we're going to do is lift that up, and then we can put our piece of card that's going to hide the magnet. So just let me, there's little bits of white showing there, so just going to use this for ease. There we go. And we'll put some glue. So obviously we're not going to put glue where the double-sided sticky tape is, unless we can help it. Not that it makes much odds really, it's just that it'll dry quicker if it's not stuck to the double-sided sticky tape. There we go. And we're going to put that along the edge, like so. So in actual fact you can't see where the magnet is, but we've just got this image that's on there as a border. There we go. And then when we close that down, we'll close this down, oops, and that will hold everything in its place. So quite happy with that. So that's the first sort of section that we're going to box off. And again, if I want to put another image there, or I want to put perhaps a word or a number or something on those lines, I can slip something on there. See, I quite like that on there, actually. So we've got some sort of light playroom. So that's the first bit. So it's your first flip up. We've attached a magnet so it keeps everything together, and we've also got a pocket there where we can slide something in and it'll keep everything in its place. So we'll move on to the next section a bit later on. Okay, see you in a mo. Right, so we finished off the first part where we've got the magnet attached. We've got the little flip up just there, and we've got the little pocket there to catch. So the next thing I've gone and done is I decided just to leave that to have the paper on it and fold that over and glue it down. So we've got a pocket, and what I'll put in there is one of my journaling bundles, and I'll decide what to finish on there once I put the bundles inside, I think. So then we're going to move on to the centre bit. So the centre bit here, what I thought I would do is I've gone and got the piece of card and I've just gone around the edges there just to make sure that it's highlighted the fact that's the edge of the paper. And then what I thought I would do is put a band of black card just across there, ready to take a book. So I've made myself a little notebook. It's quite simple to make. It's just a piece of black card, and I've put an image on the front and a small little label there. Made 3 holes in the centre of the book. Oops, can't find the centre of the book. Oh, there we go. And I've just gone and made 3 holes and then put some ribbon through and made a couple of little tags for it to go on. And I thought what I would do is have that slipped through there and attached to the paper, like so. But before I glue the paper down, I wanted to make sure that I've got something that can stop the book from flipping open. So, excuse me, I've just made a little tag there that will be able to swing open so you can actually open the book. So I thought I'd make it about there, roughly, so then I can put a little brad in and that can swing across and then you can get to the book. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is just make a hole there for the brad to go in before I put the paper down. So it's pre-planning really is really important, because what I didn't want to do was, although on this you could, because the back of the card is actually going to be stuck to the book, so we could put the paper down first off. So I think I might actually do that. So we're just going to glue, and I'm going to use some wet glue. We're just going to glue this paper down, or the card in actual fact, that's what it is. It's the card, just like so. Now if I was using paper rather than card, I would probably do this with the glue stick so it doesn't buttle. But this is card, and it's about, I think it's 2020 weight wise. So again, I'm just going to place that roughly square, like so. Make sure it's in line, which it is now. Go along there. I can actually put my black down at the same time. So I'll just glue the bottom of that and the top, just so that fixes in nice and strong. Like so. Nice and straight, which I think that is. And then the book's going to slide underneath, and I'm going to want that tag to be about, I think about there somewhere. So if I get my pencil and I'll make a little mark where I have to make the hole for the brad. Okay, so I'll just get my big crocodile. Ooh. And when I very first started crafting, someone told me about these brilliant machines that you can make holes with. Only I thought they said a crocodile, not a crop-a-dile. So I went online looking for a crocodile, a craft crocodile. Obviously I couldn't find it. And it wasn't till a while later that I'd realised I got the name totally wrong. So, let's get my brads. And again, I'm using the black brads because I'm going to use black brads right the way through, because that's what I've got in the front of my lap book. If I was using the other style of brads, I'd be using those right the way through the book. So as you can see, I've put a line there, so I know that ziggly-zaggly line means I'm going to glue that down to the page, and I've also put a huge arrow there just to remind me that this is the way up, because that's something in the past that I had forgotten to do. So that is now going to go under the black like that. That's going to go there, and then this can come over and hopefully will keep the book in place like so. So then this side, I thought, right, what else can I do? So I'm just going to distress ink round the edges, and I'm going to do it quite dark in places. Like so. And on this page, what I decided to do was put my paper down, like so. I can glue that down straight away. And then I've just used one of the white envelopes that you can get in the post, and it's got one of the windows in it. And I've just gone and stamped it with one of the Tim Holtz stamps. And this is just going to be a journaling card, and it's a gentleman standing next to a skeleton holding a skull. I'm presuming he's a physician of some sort, but I quite like the image. So I've just put it on some black card and slotted it in so he fits quite nicely. Now I'm going to want to put that on there, but I'm wanting this end here to be a pocket so we can slide something else in as well as. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to go round the edges with a little bit of distress, and I really need to change my my paper that I'm working on, because it's now getting to look a little tatty, to say the least. There we go. And I'm using one of the foam eggs, the top end of a foam egg that you get for makeup. Now again, because this now is paper, I'm going to use a glue stick, if I can get the end off, brilliant, which I now can, and that hopefully will stop it from buckling as such. There we go. And I think the hardest thing is to try and decide what it is you're going to assemble your book with for your pockets and your catches and all your other bits and pieces. And I find that's probably the hardest part of making the journals, if I'm honest. Okay, so we've put that down there, quite happy with that. We're then going to get the envelope. Now the envelope, because I want it to be a pocket, I'm just going to glue down the two sides and across the bottom. And again, you don't have to use wet glue, you can use the double-sided tape if you want to. Totally your preference. There we go. And we're going to come up just a little bit, like so. There we go. And again, I might put another image on there, or a label of some description. And that's that side done. That should glue down quite nicely. So that's going to then close onto there. So we've just got this sheet now to do. So for this sheet, I just thought I'd do something just slightly different. And again, what I've gone and done is I've got the paper, which was quite a plain paper, and I've just gone and put a stencil over it, which happens to be this stencil, gone over it with some distress inks and distress the edges just to give it a bit more of a darker, macabre look to it. And also this little flip across that's got the magnet in matches. So again, I like to try and match things if I can. Now before I actually glue this paper down, what I'm hoping to do here is I've made another little flap up. Only this flap up has just got, so it's just a piece of craft card that I've bent over. I've trimmed around the edges with my corner punch on the 4 edges. I just put some lined paper in, and that's just a stamp of some barbed wire, which is from one of the Tim Holtz sets. And I'm going to glue that down eventually like that, but what I want this time is I'm wanting to have something that holds that down so that doesn't flip open. So I've just got one of these, I think they're called dog tags, label tags. It's just got a metal around it. I've just coloured it in the same colour distress ink, which it happens to be this one, which is Forest Moss. And I've also got a skull image that was one of Lady Blackblood's, and it slots into there perfect. So what I'm going to do is again make a hole there for my brad to go in before I glue it down, because I don't want to make any holes in that card there, because you will be able to see it. So again, it's just forethought. Now the first one I ever made, I didn't have any forethought. I kept doing it and then having to put things over it to hide all the little mistakes. So what I'm going to do again is get another brad, like so, and put my brad in place on the paper already, like that. Pop it over and open it out. Like so. And then what I've done is I've just done a little arrow that's going up, which tells me where I want to put my skull. Because when he's closed, and that's going to be keeping the little notebook closed, I want the skull to be looking straight up. I don't want him to be at an angle. So I've done that in preparation. So I'm just going to put some glue on there like so and run that round, and then put in my skull inside the space that's there. Now I know the brad's in the way just a little bit. There we go. And that can now swing round like so. Okay, and then, oops, actually it might have been as well as to actually have made the hole where the, so let's just see if we can make a little indent there where the brad is. That'd be better. Yeah, I think it would be. Just see what I'm doing, because I'm trying to do it from a distance. So I think it would have been, in hindsight, it might have been better to actually have glued the skull down and then put the hole in. But something for you to learn from my mistake as such. There we go. So we can now glue down the paper onto the card. Now, because this is more of a card than a paper, I'm quite happy to wet glue it. And again, because we've got the weight there of the brad and the skull, I just want to make sure that I've put enough glue for that to stick down for eternity, which is quite a long time, isn't it? There we go. And pop that on there like so. I turn that over. Like so. And then what we can do is actually glue the book where we need to have it glued. So if I glue it about there, that should go across there and then keep it closed. Right, which is what I'll do. Okay, so again, because I want that as a pocket, I'm just going to glue along two sides and along the base. So here goes. Along the sides, oops, and along the base. Just like that. Okay. And later on we've got the niceties of actually putting all the ephemera in, which I quite enjoy doing. So, okay, and that will swing across there and hold that in place there. But while that's doing that, I'm just going to clip these down. Oh, just going to clip these down while the glue just sets just a little bit. Because I want that to be quite secure. And my fingers are getting very mucky, so I can, I'll have to go and wash my hands. Ooh. There we go. And that basically is the first section done. So what I'm going to do is get my book, just clear this, give myself a little bit of space, and get my book. Where's she gone? Here she is. Ooh. And I'm going to then glue the first section into section 1. So section 1 is going to go just in there. So hopefully by now everything's settled nicely and clipped and ready to go. So that is going to glue into there like that, and that's going to be our first section. Now when I come to glue this into place, what I do is I like to use red tape and I like to use wet glue because it just gives the glue the chance to settle into the centre and place it properly. So if you just bear with me 1 second, I'll go and get the red tape and start the assemblage, and we're nearly there. Ooh. So if you haven't subscribed, I would love you to. That would be great. And don't forget to click on the bell icon, because that's going to send you a reminder when I've got something something new to show you. And if you already have subscribed, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to see so many new people just joining me. I have got a sister channel called Crafted by Norma, which unfortunately I can't have access to because of a year ago I was hacked and I lost my old email address. My old phone number had to get changed, and it was, to say the least, a nightmare. So I can't get into that channel, but there's lots of things in there for you to go and look at and see what I've done in the past. And don't forget to check out my Etsy page, Crafted by Norma. And everything that I make I normally put onto my Instagram page. So again, please follow that. And you can see all the different things I do make, because I make other things as well as making lap books and journals and altered books. I do a variety of different bits and bobs. And I also do workshops, but the workshops are more for mixed media. So, right, where are we? So I've put the double-sided tape on. Okay, I'm definitely going to put this the right way up, because what I don't want to do is go and do it and then realise it's not the right way up. So that's going to go down on there like so, and that's going to go down like there like so, and turn that around and clip that in there, clip that one, oops, get rid of that little, there you go, clip that one in there, and hopefully that's all going to stick nicely. And clip that one in there, and clip that one there, and I'll put this there. So as I say, that is our first section completed. We've got the pen that goes into section 2, that goes in there like that, and we've just then got this next section to complete, which I'll do in another video. Or in actual fact, I might actually leave it and make it up and then go through it with you, rather than you struggle watching me make it, and I will give you an idea of how I've made it. So that's it for the time being. Just a quick recap, I'll take these off and then you can see what we've done. Let's take that out. We've made the magnets that keeps it closed. Open the magnet up and you'll have something that's going to be in here, which will keep this little booklet closed. Take this out and then this latches open. And then when you open this up, like so, you've got a little notebook here, and again, we've got somewhere here where we can slot something in. This slides down like so, and then the book will then open. It should open. Where are we? There we go. Like so, to journal in. That opens out. We've got space there for us to put, and I'll be using one of my little bundles for it to go in there. We've made a book, and to keep the book closed, we've just gone and put one of a little tag there that opens up so you can get access to the little notebook. And then on this side we've got one of the window envelopes, and again that's got space there where you can put something behind. And that's section 1 completed. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully see you soon. Oh, stay there, you think? Yes, that's it. Okay, lovely. Thanks very much for watching, and see you later. Bye.